Hey everyone, you're all manifesting into your life your highest potential for health, prosperity, financial freedom, anything that you desire. That's how powerful we are. We can do that through our story, through our movement, through our breath, by releasing the limitations from our past. Went in through the breath, it'll come out through the breath. Today we're going to be talking about health through dowsing, nutrition, and water. And that brings us to be, do, have. Now, be, do, have is something that's been around for a long time, right? Be the person you need to be to do the things you want to do, and you will have the things you want to have. Be, do, have. If we don't have our health, we're not doing what it takes to create that. We're not being that person. We're not doing what it takes to have what we want. And that's nothing against you. It's just that the system that we are in doesn't teach us how to do that. So in this particular video, we'll be going over the be, do, have and the dowsing, nutrition, and water. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with dowsing, dowsing is something that we have inside us, and some people's going to have to awaken to that power. It's like making an energy ball with your hands, right? There are many ways to do it. People have all their own ways. Tapping your hands, feeling that heat, raising the hands, and when you just slowly, let's do it this way, just slowly open your hands, and when you feel heat in there, you can feel a little vibration, and you just slowly open your hands, and when you push, it'll push back, okay? And something cool that you can do with this, because you can use that to help other people heal. We do it all the time, we just don't know we're doing it. But you can take that, take a deep breath through your nose, put your hands over your heart, and that energy will go in, and it'll give your heart just a little bit of a energetic bump, and it feels really good. So those are things to remember. Now what I have here, these are dowsing rods. I have a video on my YouTube channel on how to make your own dowsing rods. Very, very simple. Doesn't take hardly any tools at all. If you're really clever, you can do it even without tools. Now, one of the things we do is, we're always, what I'm doing right now, I'm clearing the rods, okay? And you throw that to the earth. So if someone else was to pick them up, if someone else was to pick these up, they would have to clear them, okay? It's your energy. It's your antenna. That's what these are. They're an antenna, just like on your automobile. There's an antenna that picks up frequencies in the air, and you listen to music, you listen to talk shows, you listen to whatever, right? Well, your cellular energy is different than mine. So you want to wipe these down and get your energy on there and mine off, and that's why you throw it to the earth. And so these things will move quite freely, okay? Are lemons good for me? Yes, they are. Are cupcakes good for me? Okay, for me, this is a no, they're not. They're not, because they're going further and further apart. Now, this isn't just about water, but you are water. And it's reading you and the frequencies around you when these are working. And I'm constantly wiping these down, making sure that the frequency, the vibration, is mine. That's on here. Okay? So, is my name Gary? Yes. My name's Steve? No. Can I douse the human body for health? Yes. Now, can you find lost objects with this? Yes, you can. Are they 10% accurate, 20% accurate, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So they're between 80 and 90% accurate. That's for me. You're going to have your own thing. And to use these, you have to become no one, nowhere, no place, no time. Because that's the frequency out here, is not you. You have a thread connected to it. That is true. But with the rods, the frequencies are outside me. My memory is outside me. My energy is outside me. Can it be generated within me? Yes. See, these are all yeses every time it crosses. So that can be confusing for a lot of people. So we'll just set these aside for now. But you can douse your health aura with those because it's dousing water. So you just take it and you'd be using one, right? And I don't know if I can do it to myself, but okay. I can't do it to myself. I wish I could, but maybe down the front. So I'll stand sideways, okay? Wherever this dips in, see if I go this way, see if I can get it to do it. No, I can't get it. It's because it's me. If I'm doing that with somebody else, when you push this in towards them, it will push away because the energy of their body, their frequency is pushing it away. And wherever the energy is low in the body, it will go the other way. It'll go in towards them. And you know that there's a weak energy level there. People that have hip replacements and different organs replaced and things will show up in those by moving in. It's really hard for me to, I should have somebody here demonstrate it. So if I was dowsing down the outside here and I had a problem with my elbow and it was out here, the rod would come closer to the elbow. So that means that there's something going on in this elbow, and it's usually lack of hydration, nutrition, oxygen, okay? Lymphatic flow. On the nutrition side, we need to, it'd be a good idea to start with some live liquids like the Master Cleanse, and I have a recipe on my page, on Beyond the Master Cleanse page. We need to get live liquids into us. They have their own enzymes, their own electrolytes. They're the energy of the day. They're constantly updating our body, updating our cells. Where if we go in stores and we walk by all the live food to go read the labels on dead food, because that's basically what it is dead food. I don't know what that was. So anyway, when we walk through and we read those labels are not truthful. They're deceiving as to what's in there. Like high fructose corn syrup has about 13 different names. They're changing everything. Natural does not mean natural. Not in the food world. That's what we're trained to believe it is, but it's not that. Okay? And water. It's important to filter your water. I used to work at a water treatment plant. All they do is make it drinkable. But all these people on all these meds, none of that is taken out, and you're peeing it out, you're pooping it out, you know, and the chemo and radiation and all these different things that are sleeping pills and statins. And matter of fact, there was a professor, I believe it was in London, who wanted to put statins in the water here because it would save so many lives. It's not true. I mean, it's true that he tried to do that. I have no idea why they didn't do it, but they didn't, as far as I know. But it's already in the water. because they don't take any of that stuff out. So any drug, man-made drug, not medicine from nature, but man-made drug, goes in the system and is flushed through the system. There's aluminum, there's all kinds of stuff in the water. None of that gets taken out. And the only thing that will survive through the treatment plant that is natural, that is nature, is a tomato seed. So you have the big crack tanks out there, and they have beaters that are aerating it all the time, right? And you'll see a tomato plant, you know, on the top of the beaters there's a big round surface that's flat, and the seeds will pop up there once in a while, and you'll see a tomato plant grow up out of that. That's the only seed it won't kill. So, just remember, our bodies are water, and the more water that goes in, the purer, the more beneficial that water is in pH, the better it is for you. And you can drink 6 pH, 7 pH, 8.5, 9, 9.5. It's going into a system where the pH is going to change. If you take a 9.5 pH and set it out on the table or the countertop or whatever, and leave it there, it's not going to remain 9.5 pH. Because whatever is around it, nature is always seeking balance. If you have something acidic and you have something alkaline, and they get to touch each other, they will connect and they will seek balance within that. And that's one of the things that's happening with our bodies. Our bodies are constantly seeking balance because they're nature. And because we are constantly putting things in our body that our body doesn't know what to do with because they're man-made chemicals, it messes up its ability to regulate itself. And then they run in with pills, man-made drugs, trying to force the body to regulate itself. So not only is it trying to regulate itself and balance itself, now it's got to fight the medication. And that's why it's so hard sometimes to get a medication to find the balance. Anything the body produces, let's just take testosterone. Well, if the body's producing it, and your body's out of balance, meaning your testosterone is too low, you start taking pills. What you take will stop the body from producing it. Doesn't matter what it is, hormones, whatever, right? So as you're taking it, the body is producing less and less of it, and with testosterone, if you take enough of it, the body will stop producing it completely. And then trying to get off in the pill, the testosterone pills, and have the body start producing it again, you suffer a lot because it's actually shut down its ability to produce it. And that happens with everything in the body. If the body produces it and you take a supplement for it, the body's going to have a hard time. You'll feel good. Yeah, you'll feel good for a while. But you're constantly chasing your body, trying to force it to regulate itself, when really going out and grounding to the earth, realizing that we're just a frequency, we're an antenna, we're a tuning fork. And we have to find the balance of that tuning fork within us. Get the mind and the heart to work together. What's between the heart and the mind? The mouth. And what does the mouth do? It balances between the two. Unless you're taught in a system that divides them, which happens a lot. They want you left-brained. And right brain is creativity. So a lot of people's creativity is shut down. So our first breath was in, that's quantum energy. It goes in and it kicks on the electrical system, starts the heart, the lungs, everything functions. Without that first breath, you can't be here. And the last one is out. I mention this all the time because it's undeniable. The last breath is out. And when that happens, the energy separates from the body, goes back to source. Your frequency goes back and the body stays here. But there are other forms of life that depend on your energy leaving and the body staying here so they can survive. That's the balance of nature. It's just that we've been cheating nature the whole way as humans because we think we're smarter. Well, we're not. We think we can control everything. We can't. What's going on right now is they're trying to micromanage the world. And anything you try to micromanage is going to come back and bite you on the ass, basically. So, when we, as we flow, the world becomes easy. As we resist, the more we resist, the more difficult it is. So it's just time to let the sun, let the water, and the power of the earth and the universe, the quantum field, okay? It's time to let those things heal us. Because that's why they're there. They created us. We breathe it in. You know, what the earth produces is exactly what we need to eat. And that's still going to be different for most people, but, you know, your berries, your melons, your fruits, those are live. They have enzymes and electrolytes in them, so they're self-digesting. Takes a lot of burden off in the digestive system, off the pancreas. And the signals that go to the pancreas to tell it what to produce is from our teeth. Every organ and gland is connected to a tooth. I'll post a chart underneath of what organs and glands are connected to what teeth. And if you lose a tooth, that tooth is going bad, that organ or gland is suffering too, because they're connected. But the body is amazing. So you lose a tooth, right? Even though don't have a tooth there and it's not as powerful as it once was, it'll still produce the same thing, you know. But it's the pH of the enzymes going in to break down certain things. And we eat a lot of heavy, really hard to digest food, and we do it all the time. And then we're drinking carbonated drinks with it. And what does carbon do? It alkalizes acid. So we go out and have, you know, whatever, burger, beer, fries, all that stuff. And then the beer is alkalizing the acid that you would need to digest that food. It could be a soda, it could be anything that's carbonated water. All right, so I think that's enough of that. Let's get into the tongue circles and the 6 lymphatic gates. We'll do those first. All right, so right above the collarbone and below the collarbone, there's a gate right here. And it may be sore for you. If it is, that's That's just something you need to work on. Don't hurt yourself. Straight down to where it feels like it's going to be sore. Just from the pressure, you're like, oh, okay, there it is, right there. And then you rub that, and just for a few seconds, pat. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. Going to open up both sides because they are separate. This one doesn't know this one exists. This one doesn't know this one exists. Which is why you can have a life-threatening disease on one side of your body and not the other, or a stroke. I mentioned this before. Let's go up behind the ear, right behind the earlobe and the top of the jaw. There's a little hole there. Just rub that. And then rub that big muscle down the side of your neck. Okay, and then do the other side. This is gate number 2. Okay, it drags right down into here, which drains the head. So that's how important it is to keep it here. Now, the other gates have to come from the feet all the way up through to get to here. So it shows you how important the head and how short a distance there is here to keep the head draining, because as above, so below. Congested, congested. And the pump down here is your diaphragm. And yes, it's electric because we breathe automatically. But we can override that simply by using our ability to breathe. And exhale everything out. Okay? That is increasing our metabolism. It is moving all the organs and glands above it and below it. And as it does, it's just like plunging a toilet. If the toilet's plugged and you plunge it, it gets rid of the plug. And sometimes it plugs so bad, you have to call in a plumber. Well, as we're working here, right, and we're unplugging, if we can't get things unplugged, you have to call in a plumber called the doctor. Because all we are is a bunch of tubes and valves and gates and sphincters and flesh. That's it. And we need to keep that clean inside. And the diaphragm is a great way to do that. Okay, so we can override the electrical part and create it ourselves so that we get a deeper breath, a deeper motion through the whole digestive area. And the other 2 pumps, the balls of our feet. This is why walking and breathing through our nose is so important. So, gate 1, gate 2, behind right above the jawbone, right behind the earlobe there. Okay, that's gate 2. Gate 3 is where the shoulder, the roundness of the shoulder goes into the chest plate. If that's sore, just be gentle with it. Tap it a few times. Want a little heat in there is what we want. We want to get that area moving. Get that scar tissue broken up. That congestion. Doesn't matter what direction you rub in. Gate 4 is right under the solar plexus. Okay? And it goes all the way down around the belly button. This is really important. Just tapping your stomach. Sometimes you see people doing that. They don't even know why they're doing it, but it's really important to do this. Okay, so we're going to start right under the solar plexus. We're going to take a deep breath through the nose, a nice belly breath, and we're going to exhale everything out, and we're going to try and touch our spine to our back. Our spine to our back. Our belly button to our spine. All right. So nice deep breath right into the solar plexus where we start. Belly breath, exhale everything out, and rub. All the way down around the belly button, and back up, back down, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay? Even below the belly button. This is where your lower back drains into here, and then it goes up. It has to travel up through the fourth, the third, into the first. So then we can take the heel of our hands and push across, and our fingers drag back. Now just switch over, left on top, right on top. And then just pat. And you can do this any time of the day. Any of these you can open up. But if you don't have time to do them all, you're in a place where you can't, make sure you do this one. Gate 1. Try to keep that open. All right. Gate 5 is where that crease between your legs and your body. You don't want to go down underneath those. Tons of lymph nodes here, and we don't want stuff backing up. When things back up in the house, they back up here. They back up here. And as it gets worse, it keeps backing up. Okay? Because the gates are getting congested. They're not functioning the way they did, so the flow is off. So, you know, it's uterine and ovarian and testicular and prostate. And I mean, it's just incredible. This is a lot of times where the uterus can weld itself to something else in the body because the acid gets so hot it starts to melt the tissue, and then it bonds to something. You have to go in and do surgery and cut it apart. Heaven forbid they tell you to open up your lymphatic gates. They probably don't even know there are lymphatic gates. Most doctors won't even talk about the lymphatic system. All right, so now the 6th gate is behind the knees. And some people use one hand. I prefer 2, so I know I'm getting all the way around. Plus I'm getting the side of the knee at the same time. Any scar tissue, congestion in around the kneecap and the knee joint, this will help break that out of there. So it's just tapping and slapping. Matter of fact, if you want, you can wire it out to the front and go to the back. Loosen this whole area up. Part of the reason that people having so much knee issue is not just the congestion, but they don't even remember they have knees. They're not in touch with them. When we touch things, it reminds us that it's our body and that it's there. And we just ignore it till they break down. But we need to get in there and shake these tissues up. Keep that blood and lymph flowing in there. Blood is the kitchen. It feeds those cells, cartilage and all, which is part of your fascia, okay? And as it starts to recede, it's literally dying from not being cleaned and causes inflammation. And the energy has a hard time flowing through, and it's a lack of oxygen, hydration, and nutrition going to those cells, and they're literally starving to death, or they are dying from lack of hydration or a lack of oxygen. These are what gives our mitochondria, those cells, the power that they have. All right, so we just opened the 6 lymphatic gates. Let's do some tongue circles. All right, we're going to do 25 one way, 25 the other, whatever's more comfortable for you. The direction wise, all right, is extremely important. And if you have a hard time going the other way, just practice it. Just keep practicing it. And eventually that will open up. There's a lot of tension built up, or you've always done something one way, so like brushing your teeth with the other hand, you know, it doesn't work so well. And that happens like throwing a ball, you throw it with your right hand, well, try throwing it with your left hand. And that difference is working through our whole body. So we're trying to balance it out so that the muscles have the same ability. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it, just keep trying, okay? But it will improve. So put our finger on our chin. We don't want our chin going back and forth this way. And we don't want our head doing this or this. If it does, don't worry about it, okay? Just do the best you can. If you can, look in front of a mirror when you're doing this. And put your tongue in front of your top teeth under your lip. And then we're going to go 25 times this way. And we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose. Don't hold your breath. Breathe in and out through the nose. And then we're going to go 25 this way. All right? And I'll take a break between. And what this does is the fascia, because your tongue is connected to your fascia throughout your whole body, and it will start to release tension and bring hydration and bring the lymph through here so it can clean the cells, and it'll get rid of stress and all through here, the jaw, the back of the neck. When we get into the eyes, I'll show you something else cool about the eyes. All right, so here we go. We're going to do 25 this way, and then we're going to do 25 this way. So tongue in front of your top teeth, under your lip. Keep breathing and go. Okay, there's 25 that direction. I hope you kept breathing through your nose. I hope you were able to. People that really struggle breathing through their nose, it's hard to breathe through your mouth and do this. I get it. So before we go in the other direction, I want to show you. So take a deep breath through your nose. Okay, now slap. 5 to 6 times on the inside of your arms. This might be a good thing to do before you actually do your tongue circles. Now breathe through your nose. And that opens up that passage, that pathway. This is something else you can do. Put your knuckles right in next to your nostrils and breathe in as you pull apart. Okay? That should open up your nasal passages. All right, 25 the other direction. Keep breathing through the nose. Okay, so let's kind of shake that out a little bit. shaking is really, really good for your body. And what it was like when he was a kid and your father would sit down across his legs and you'd sit on his leg and he'd bounce you up and down, how good that felt. Well, now it's our turn to do it. And we do it this way. Another thing is to lay on a bed or something and hang your head over the side of the bed. That's another thing that's good for us. You just can't do it for too long, but it is important to do it. When we were kids, we did it all the time. And we were flooding blood and lymph to different areas. You can't have a cell without lymph. You can't have a kitchen in the body without a bathroom to clean off the waste. All right. So now we're going to do tongue and eye circles. And to do those, when we put our tongue up here in front of our top teeth, under the lip, our eyes go straight up. And as the tongue goes around, so you're going this way, right? The eyes follow. It's at the bottom, your eyes are at the bottom. Halfway, your eyes are halfway. Back to the top. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Breathing in and out through the nose the whole time. Don't hold your breath. And try not to move your head. All right, here we go. Okay, there's 5. Now we'll do 5 in the other direction. Okay, there's 5 in the other direction. So this helps coordinate all those muscles because your eyes are so important as far as body function goes. They're constantly on the alert, on the lookout, right? And when they see something, it triggers emotions. But when you look up, your head goes up. When you look down, your head goes down. You look to the side, your whole body can move, right? And it's so effortless because the eyes are controlling that. They're constantly aware. And if we have limitations, something that we fear, they're on high alert all the time, looking for that sound, that taste, that smell, that touch, that sixth sense that something is wrong. Our eyes are constantly doing that. And it brings up an emotion, and that emotion goes to the brain, and it creates a chemical that floods our body like that through the electrical system. And that emotion went in through our breath, and it's stuck in the tissue somewhere. So as we're breathing and we're humming and we're, if you get a pillow and you scream into a pillow, you're shaking those areas. And it'll break those loose and they'll come back out through the breath because that's how they got there. All right, so let's do 5 in the other direction. So I went this way that time. I'm going to go, obviously, this way. So whatever direction you went in, just go the opposite. So eyes straight up, tongue in front of your top teeth, under your lip. Keep breathing through the nose and go. Okay, there's 5. Now, for all of you that are having issues holding your head, you're going to like this one a lot because we're going to move our head on purpose. All right, as we move our eyes around and our tongue, we're going to be doing this. Okay, so that was 5. And then we'll do 5 in the other direction, all right? So you guys ready? All right, here we go. All right, 5 in the other direction. Okay, cool. All right, now let's do some Qigong. Do some breath work. Okay, we're gonna do 3 lion's breaths. So when we do a lion's breath, you know what we do. In through the nose, head back, smile, hold. Do a nice deep belly breath. Head back, smile. And when we exhale, we stick our tongue all the way out to open our throat. And why do we do that? That's right, to get the toxins out of the lungs, because most of the blood oxygen transfer takes place in the bottom of the lungs. And the toxins are heavier than what we're breathing in, especially for shallow breathers. It starts to build. And even though we are breathing or trying to breathe heavier, you see a lot of people, they're like panting. But they're shallow because they're chest breathing. You want to get that belly involved, get that diaphragm involved, get that plunger going up and down, moving all that stuff. All right. So we're going to do 5. Did I do that? 5 in the other direction. All right. All right. Now you can do as many of these as you want, but I will say sit down if you're not used to it, because the eyes are part of our balance. All right. And another thing we can do is put our thumbs right below our skull in the fleshy part of the neck and lock our fingers together like this. All right. And just move your eyes around and you feel those muscles back there moving because they're connected, right? And they're connected to everything that makes us look up and down, and it's so automatic we don't even realize we're doing it. It's like breath. We don't know that we're shallow breathing. But the limitations that are stuck inside us, when we see something that alarms us, or we've had it happen before, and it might have been 30 years ago that it happened, but we're still carrying that memory. We're still carrying that breath, because every breath has an emotion associated with it, and every breath or every emotion has a breath associated with it. Every breath has an emotion associated with it. I think I got that right. So, as we learn to breathe, you master your breath. No one can steal your peace. You master your breath, and you control your emotions. And that doesn't mean that you won't have actions and reactions. You will. But they won't last as long because you know how to recover. If you watch any animal shows, National Geographic or something, right? And a lion is chasing an animal, like an impala or something. Nobody ever says anything about it, but they were grazing. And they can feel the danger, just like us. And they'll start running. They're in fight or flight at that moment. They were in rest, digest, and heal. Now they're in fight or flight. And as soon as the lions stop chasing, you'll see right here on their side, you'll see their skin shake. That is going from fight or flight to rest, digest, and heal again, and they go back to grazing. And it can happen in a matter of moments. Well, we can do that too. We have the ability to do that. We do it through our breath, through our balance. So let's, we're going to do 3 lion's breaths. All right, here we go. In through the nose, head back, smile. Lion's breath, exhale. And we tap all the way down to our ankles, all the way up. You can get your feet too if you want to. Okay? Don't be afraid to tap and pat your body. Just wakes it up. All right. Inhale through the nose, head back, smile. And hold. Last breath, exhale. All right. One more. Inhale through the nose, head back, smile. Last breath, exhale. Down your arms. Waking that body up. Patting your head. Rubbing your eyes. Pinching your eyebrows and holding for just a few seconds. Then move over about the width of your thumb. Do it again. And again, move over about the width of your thumb and hold it. And further down, out to the outside, temples. And do that just pinching the skin by your temples. And then put your thumbs right in that there's a little groove right there from where your skull and your temple kind of meet your eyebrow part, right? And you just push on that and just hold it for a few seconds. And this will increase blood flow, lymph, up into the brain, all around here. It'll get rid of stress. Work your ears. All your organs and glands are in your ears. Okay, rub your neck again. Open that whole area up. Tap. And kind of work your way out and right down to the side of your head, down through your temples. Okay. So let's do this breath. Okay, we're gonna kind of get in horse stance. Those that don't know horse stance, you're just kind of sitting on your skeletal structure. And for those that don't know, our skeleton is just floating inside our body. It is our structure that keeps us upright, but it's suspended through cartilage and tendons, and that's why whenever you see an ancient grave dug up, the bones are scattered or they're not connected anymore because they're just floating inside us. And that's the cushion that keeps it from hurting. That's why when our cartilage in our knees starts to die off from lack of hydration, nutrition, and oxygen and being cleaned, because they're living in acid, they start to recede, and eventually it's bone on bone, and then you need a knee replacement. You never needed a knee replacement. If you get injured in an industrial accident or something, they have to replace a knee, that's different. But as far as like our knees go, we just need to stay in touch with them. All right, so we're gonna do this breath. We're gonna get in a kind of a horse stance here. We're going to inhale, and the inhale should last all the way up to here. So what you want to do is time your breath. Okay, and then we turn the hands down and we exhale, and the exhale should last all the way to the bottom. Inhale. And your speed may not be my speed. And as you do this, and you connect your speed, once you get that in sync, that balance between your movement and your breath, then you can manipulate it, slow it down, speed it up, whatever it is for you, and you'll be more in control of your breath and your body's ability to move, to do different things, okay? So if I wanted to, I could go Okay, and it should end right there, and then exhale. Or I can do it this way. It's up to you. You're the commander-in-chief of your body. Learn how it moves. Learn how it functions. Learn how it breathes. Stay in connection with it by tapping it. Tapping the ends of your fingers. You'll see a lot of thinkers do this because you're connecting this side with this side, and it functions better. Another one you'll see is this. People that are creative inventors. They'll keep their hands like this while they're talking, or they may be doing this just lightly. It helps to align your thoughts. The left and right brain are connected right here. Here they're apart. All right. There's 12 energy meridians in the body. 6 in the hands, 6 in the feet. So when we do this, we're activating all 12. And those 12 are generating vibrations, good vibrations in the body, right? Picking up good vibrations. And then we go to the inside of the elbow, then the other elbow, and then under the arms. So we usually do 3 rounds of those, but you can do more. There is no set. We do 9 in class, 9 like this, 9 times. And on all positions, we'll do 1 round like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we do 3 rounds. Very easy, but your breath is your power. Backed up by good nutrition and hydration. All right, so I'm going to check out here. This is day 14, last day of the tongue and eye circles, and we'll be moving on to something else next. And I don't know what that is yet, but hopefully you'll find it helpful and using it to regenerate, rebuild your body. Because if it can degenerate, it can regenerate. All right? And look to the earth to help your body heal itself. We came from the earth, and everything we need to maintain our health comes from the earth. All right? Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, the next series, whatever that's going to be. All right? Later.